up with called Lost in the Sauce, and a couple guys that we want to just see more from. And there are numerous examples we could go with. What's your guy, Al?
Foerster. He had a chance 2 games ago on a power play where he passed up a shot to make a pass. And I'm like, man, you got to take that shot, especially because your game is scoring goals, to take that shot, to not be afraid to take it. Sometimes when you're in a kind of a lull, you don't take that shot. And this past game, there are a couple of times it looked like, well, he's got that target right there. And that I'm looking for him to get that goal that kind of sets him off, that gives him the confidence to take shots, which is one of the big pluses for him, to take shots, and B, more importantly, probably A1, you need the goals. Yeah. So, I mean, he's there. I mean, you have to pay attention to defense. Obviously, Tortorella teams, that's what's stressed early. But you need goals. And he's a guy that I think they counted on to provide more offense that we've seen. This is very, very early, and you're hoping that once that first goal comes, once that first big offensive game comes, it follows up again and again. Yeah,
well, that's what he's here for. And it's weird because last season when he came up, he lit things up for, 10 days he was up, and he was scoring goals, and we're like, my gosh, this guy has to stay. And we saw that in training camp as well, and it's not resonating right now, but I think we all can agree it's brewing. It's there. We can all feel it coming because he's so close right now. I thought it was going to be last night that he was going to get it, especially when we were down there at the third period watching.
Oh my gosh, he got a couple of really good chances. They always say, well, as long as you're getting chances, don't worry. Well, I worry a little bit because
at this point,
because it gets in, whether they want to admit it or not, it gets in your head a little bit. He sounds like, talk to him, real confident kid. Didn't have any problems in that area, but everybody, I don't care if you're Wayne Gretzky back in the day. You go a couple of games, you start to say, what's going on here?
Right.
As they say, can't buy a goal. Maybe it's a case of, I don't think it is though. Sometimes they say, well, just get a goal that goes in off your foot or off your head or something. From him, I want to see him launch that shot with the shot that he has to get the goal.
And every player goes through it. I remember Travis Konechny went through it a little bit last season. He was in that drought, we called it, and he was fine, but I am even more fearful, and fearful is the wrong word, but with the way this lineup is changing so much lately, if Tyson Foerster doesn't start producing here soon, I would not be surprised if Torch changes some things and puts Frost in permanently or something of that nature, because the reason Tyson Foerster is in the lineup is to score goals.
It is. He is. But that'd be a tough one for me with the chances that he's kind of generating. Yeah. But I can see him doing it because you got guys that have to get back in the lineup. They broke up a fourth line that's been very effective last night.
Right. And there's no way that Torch is going to be okay with just continuing to do so. That's why I'm so curious what Wednesday's lineup looks like, because you tell me, Frost played well enough to stay in. Yeah.
He did. He's not. I mean, I thought that he had a good third period, especially. He's one. The problem with him is not that one game. Like I've often thought I'd see a game where I saw good from him, and there was good, especially on a power play. Threaded a couple of passes. He still lost a couple of possessions going into the zone. I don't want to be too harsh on him because they had a lot of turnovers, the entire team. That's a tough team. They turn the puck over, make you turn the puck over a lot.
Yeah.
My worry with him all the time is that you don't know what you're going to get. As a coach, a coaching staff, you want to kind of know what you're going to get most games out of a player. I need the follow-up with him, that it's not one good one step back, one step forward, one step back again. We've gone through that too many times. I need at least 3 to 1.
Right.
In steps forward and steps back.
Yeah, when you're costing the younger guys getting opportunities. And it's him. It seems like it's Noah Cates at times.
Noah Cates had, I don't have the numbers in front of me, but boy, he got cleaned up in the face-off circle. Yeah. He really got, you look at the goals that were scored, and they were off face-offs, a couple, and the goaltender had to move across because they didn't control the face-off. And he really, I mean, he's still for a young player, a dependable player, but you're going to have to improve that area. You simply have to improve that area because you can't get, especially against that team, crucial situations to come in and lose 80% of your face-offs. Right.
You just don't give your team a chance. And then Cam York on defense, that's why I don't think I'm going to be surprised on Wednesday if we see something different.
Yeah, York's he's had some struggles. I mean, and there've been glaring mistakes that have come up, but they're kind of thin back there with Ristolainen still unaccounted for.
Right.
So I mean, I don't know that you want to. He's a funny player.
You can't figure him out. Yeah.
Yeah, because you'll see a couple of moments like, wow, he can carry this thing. So I don't know what he's going to do in that, because when you look at some of the pairings that they've had, I don't know how easy it is to take him out of that lineup right now, because their pair is so thin once you get past the top two two pair, that what you're going to do. So I think if they had some options, that might be an option. I don't think right now it's necessarily an option, but you never know with Torts what he's going to do.
You truly never know, and it's probably going to change a bunch of times. And I forgot to tell you this. I was walking through the concourse yesterday, and I was talking to one fan, and he was by far the most optimistic fan I've ever spoken to, because he just broke it down so perfectly of where this team is right now. He said, this is the best case scenario for Flyers fans who are truly Flyers fans who have been through this through history, that right now the team's fun to watch, much more fun than last year. You have young guys getting great chances. They're in every single game, but they're losing, and they'll still get a top pick. He's like, this is perfect. It's what everybody wants. Everyone's so happy.
I the top pick, I don't think they'll be in that conference. Maybe they will. I mean, it's a lottery, so you never know. But I think they still could be better than some people expect when you look at it. When you look at, team coming up, Buffalo, I assume they're going to make a push for the playoffs, but they haven't had the greatest start to the season.
Right.
So you don't know. When you've got Hart in goal, it gives you a chance every night that he's starting in goal. That's important, and I don't think there's any way that there's a tank situation going on.
No.
But I agree with most of the fans that, if we get energetic games, we're in the games, we play physically, we see some progress from the young players. I got no issue with the record becomes secondary until that song will change come February. If you're in contact with the playoff spot, that will change real quickly. Quickly. Oh yeah.
If we're on a pregame show and we're talking about, hey, if this team loses and we're starting to do the math, then I totally agree, it goes out of the picture. But this fan at least was saying he thinks fans have to agree with, this is not a playoff team right now, and they have to be okay with that because they're still a couple of years away. So be okay with the process, which is what Torts was talking about last night.
Yeah. They don't want
false hope of a playoff team.
They don't want to get to expand the expectations that they're, but I'm still thinking, I still think they can achieve more than many people expected at the beginning of the season.
They already have. Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
this looks so different than last year.
That power play, I don't understand it.
Gosh.
I look at the elements that they have and I say, why can't this get unlocked? I mean, imagine the difference if that thing starts to work, because they got some kids that will draw penalties. So, and give you that chance, that would change all the equation a whole lot. So although I agree that I want to see the young kids play, I want to see effort, I always go in thinking I want to make the playoffs.
Of course.
Guys, I'm like,
because you always say get in and you never know what could happen.
Well, never know. Plus, it's been a while since the excitement level of the playoffs. Like, they're going to play a team, they're going to play Buffalo. They haven't been in the playoffs, God, forever. If you're a fan, that's why you're buying tickets. I mean, even if it's a year away, whatever, it's like, okay, that you hate to see that party going on and you're not in it.
Yeah.
Even look what the Phillies, when they just get in, what it did for the next season, and what it does also for players that want to come here and play. So although I don't expect them to, I expect to hope that they do well into the season.
Yeah, and there's nothing wrong with fans wanting that. They should want that, and it leads you to wonder how this season is going to go, because, and I go back to the power play. You tell me, how do you fix it?
You can't,
because they've tried so many combinations and it's not working.
Power plays are one of the most bizarre situations in all of sports. Extra man, you would think you have a huge advantage. Look at Carolina. They score shorthanded goals. I mean, look at the Flyers when they score a shorthanded goal. It's amazing to me how much energy you can be taken away from you because of a power play. Like Pittsburgh, with all the great talent they've had, they've gone through unbelievable struggles with the power play. I think with the exception of, Edmonton's power play is just a machine, but look at the two players that are there. Washington with Ovechkin, where he just sets up there and just launches shots. That's an outlier in this situation. But over and over again, you watch and you say, how can a team like Pittsburgh, how on earth can they struggle on a power play? How can it happen? And you'll see a Bruins team that will go through 3 weeks where it doesn't work. And then there has to be somebody that unlocks it. I thought, maybe they'd have this kid in Brinks that he would come in and unlock this thing. And I think it's there, but it's also one of those cases of you get on that power play and you refuse to shoot. And it's annoying because the players, like, these fans are idiots, just saying, shoot, there's no shot. Well, sometimes you just take the shot. Yeah. It's what you want. That's what you're hoping for. But the Flyers have tried set up from down low, a bumper situation against the half wall, which they had Giroux on that and it still didn't work. Mm-hmm. And now they've got Kidd on that, trying to make it work that way. So people have, since day one, tried to figure it out. And then once it starts rolling, thank you. You get complete confidence in it.
Right.
But they're never going to have an Edmonton situation with the power play where it's like, okay, it's automatic. Get a goal. They don't have those pieces right now. But you can't lose. The problem with a power play that doesn't work, sometimes, okay, you just don't get a goal, but you can't let it be deflating. Mm-hmm. And that, I think they've run into that a couple of times where it doesn't work at all. They try the slingshot to come back, which eats up time and comes back. And then instead of an opportunity to get ahead, it becomes very, very deflating on your side and very, very inflating on the other bench.
That is absolutely what it feels like. Even for us watching, we hear the announcer and bowl.
Yeah.
Here we go, power play, and you're like, oh.
Everybody at home is going decline. Yeah. Well, no, not happening.
Not again.
Yeah.
It's true. And I could see how you get one, and it starts to click. And man, it'd be great if it was Brink.
Well, you want a power play that guys on the bench are clamoring to get on the ice.
Right.
That's what you want.
The competitiveness.
Clamoring. I can pump up my points here selfishly by getting on that power play. And power plays mean it does mean points. It doesn't. It should. It's cash money. Man, come in and get points on the power play.
Lately. Gosh. And then